Hey friends, what's good? Welcome to Storytime. So first thing I want to do is this is a disclaimer that whatever I'm talking about here, that's my life, my experience, my story. It might vary with everybody, whatever you're going through, but this is mine. So also, second thing, I shoot these one time, like one take, no edits. So sometimes they are just garbage. But I appreciate you guys sticking around to listen. So today's story is about my health journey and how it's affected my life in so many different ways. So as a child, I was quite ill a lot, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I think I had some issues with being very sensitive. I was a sensitive kid, so I got sick a lot. I threw up a lot. Like when I say get sick, I barfed a lot, and I was very, very thin, super thin, like, just the tiniest, tallest girl. So very thin. I don't think I ever really had any eating disorders or anything like that. I think I just was emotionally a wreck inside. So I had massive anxiety. And I don't know that my family even knew what I was dealing with as a kid. But as I got older, I think what ended up happening, I've been watching a lot of different programs talking about our mindset and our emotional health and how it affects our physical health. So, from a very young age, I started being sick a lot. And I think a lot of it had to do with my mental health and my inability to deal with life in general. I was a very anxious kid, very, very nervous all the time. And I was always very emotional towards everyone else. So I felt like I always should be helping other people. And I started getting sick when I was probably 14 or 15 years old. And I ended up getting a few very serious illnesses. I had endometriosis. I had different girl problems. I had all sorts of things that happened to me. But as I got older, I started to kind of manifest this horrible attitude. My mindset was it wasn't just negative, but it was very down. I was very depressed a lot. And I'll tell you that I had I had five tumors from 2006 until 2017. And realizing now what I know now and what I used to do back then, I think a lot of it, all of it, had to do with my mental health and my attitude towards life. And I've been a Christian my whole life, but I really never practiced any of that kind of stuff until, a few years ago. But I ended up turning inward. And so in 2006, I was so sick. I was a runner and I was a vegan and I was overweight. And that combination of lifestyle was not good because I ended up having a tumor that just about killed me. It was a tumor attached to my appendix. And one day I was on a run. I was doing a 5K in my overweight state, probably on this vegan diet and hungry. I ended up falling over and realizing that something wasn't right. I was on the side of the road, and, anyways, long story short, I got to the hospital. I thought maybe my appendix had burst, but it was actually a tumor. So that started my cycle of being ill for a very long time and being in a mindset of illness. I stayed, I was always at the cancer clinic. I was always being prodded and poked and tested. And I don't feel like I ever had a break where I just felt healthy. Nobody taught me proper nutrition during this time. So I still kind of did wacky nutrition. You follow the latest fad, the latest trend. So, anyways, I got another tumor, and then another tumor, and then another tumor. And after that fourth tumor, I thought, wow, like, what is going on here? What is happening to me? And so I sort of started to change things in my life. And it was all about me. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was all internal. And the last straw though was when Dave and I we were selling hot dogs on the street, and I became very, very sick. I was very sick, and I don't know what was happening, but I think my anxiety was at, its peak. I was very, very anxious all the time, kind of walking on eggshells in my whole world. And at the same time, though, I was still a nurse. I was still a wife. I was still a mom. I had to maintain all these hats, and it ended up that I had developed a tumor this in 2014, I believe, 2013, that was pure testosterone. So this tumor was fully testosterone, and we didn't know this at the time, but my body went from I was a big girl, and all of a sudden I went to like 10, 12% fat, body fat, which is astronomical because I wasn't doing much. I mean, I worked out a little bit, but I wasn't doing enough to create that kind of a body fat drop. And so the doctors were so baffled. Like, what is wrong with this child? What is wrong with her? Why is she so sick? Why is she turning like from my face and I'd sunken, everything was sunken in. I looked absolutely horrid. And about 2014, no, sorry, 2016, I had 8 doctors that still did not know what was wrong with me. They could not find a tumor. They couldn't figure out what was happening to me. I was having bloodletting done, which is horrible. Um, I was trying to maintain a good life, but I was just so sick. So one doctor finally figured it out, and they found the tumor, but it was so large that it was actually in an organ that you couldn't see the tumor. It was just all tumor. So the minute they removed that tumor, I mean, I said to the surgeon, get it out of me now. I am so tired of being this sick. They removed the tumor, and I'm not kidding you, within about 4 or 5 days, the regular Shannon, the Shannon I'm supposed to be, started to emerge. And I was no longer sick. And since that day, 2017, when they removed that, I have not been sick. And what happened though was I changed my lifestyle. I changed my attitude and I changed my habits. And once I did that, oh, dogs are going to bark. This is why we don't edit. Hey, once I changed everything, my mindset, I haven't been sick a day because I just refuse to think negative thoughts. I refuse to think that this body is an absolutely incredible and miraculous in how we can heal ourselves. So I'm hoping that if anybody's watching this, if you're feeling really, really down and sad and depressed, you've got to try and find a way to get out of that because it will manifest into other things that you don't want. And for me, it was 5 tumors. And now that I've changed my attitude and my ways, like it took me doing it. Nobody else could change how I felt inside. And no amount, excuse me, no amount of medication. When I was a child, I had been medicated quite a bit for the depression, and it that didn't work. None of it worked. So I got real. I got real with myself, and for the past, well, we're looking at 8 years now. I have been healthy, and my mind has been healthy, and I really, really think that a lot of why we get ill is mindset. And even in the most serious, situations that I've been in the past few years, I still kept my mind, happy, positive, and realistic. And I manage. And so I'm hoping that anybody out there, if you're struggling with something, please just get your mental health under control. Figure out what's deep inside that's hurting and bothering you. Read, talk to people, get some counseling, do whatever you can, but don't give up. And also try and take care of your physical health. That's why I now bodybuild and why I eat the way I do and why I fast and why I'm really cautious about what I put in because I never want to go back to that way of life again. So, anyways, that's a long 9.5 minutes, but I really wanted to talk to you guys if you're struggling or you're trying to get through something, that just keep going, persevere, you can do it. And my faith keeps me going as well. So if you've got some faith, hang on to that. And God bless you guys and have a wonderful day and take care. And my dogs are going to start barking now, so I got to go. Bye.